Colby would be a huge deal for RAF. Obviously, he beat Dylan Dennis, and at the post-fight or the post-match, post-event press conference, you're sitting right next to each other and you're going back and forth, and he's saying he took you down, and you're saying you never wrestled him and all this stuff. Do you think that there's a chance that this could even be made in RAF, or do you believe that the UFC doesn't want it to happen because you're two active UFC guys?
To be honest, I don't know what's going on. If UFC let us do this, would be great, because we fight in the different weights. I fight in 155, he fights in 170. So, and we're never gonna fight each other. And right now, he's not on that level, even like contender anymore. He's just a regular fighter who has a name, and he can talk a lot. So we can bring a lot of eyes and make it something big. And it's easy money for me. You know, I just go there, wrestle with a bodybuilder, and now I'm going to wrestle with Colby. It's like the beer guy, drinking beer every day and doing extra exercises during the night, never train. So easy money for me.
Are you or your team going to ask the UFC if they'll allow you to do this?
I think we just let the RAF figure out, you know.
So Colby Covington accepts Arman Tsarukyan's RAF call out. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. So Colby Covington actually said yes to Arman Tsarukyan, but the UFC might be blocking this fight. And I'm going to tell you why, guys. But a lot of drama happened, a lot of action. RAF 7 was absolutely insane. Arman Tsarukyan versus George Poulis. Colby Covington took on Dylan Dennis. Now, here's what's really interesting, guys, because on paper, this looks like a fight that should be made. You've got two big names. You've got real tension. You even got some history between these guys. And honestly, the question really comes down to is if both of these fighters want it, then why isn't it happening? Because the answer to this tells you a lot about the fight business, about how it actually works, the context to all of this. And I mean, right now, these guys are wrestling, but these guys actually want to fight. So RAF 7, guys, Arman, George Poulis, solid performance. Arman handled his business. Then right after the fight, he grabbed the mic and he called out Colby Covington. This is the fight, guys, that, this is the wrestling match that honestly even Kurt Angle chimed in and said Arman Tsarukyan should be wrestling in the Olympics. But guys, Arman himself, he's very direct. He's very personal. And honestly, in today's fight game, that's exactly how you want your fighters to be. Okay, and when it comes to selling a fight, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to all the shenanigans and drama, there's no better guy than Arman Tsarukyan and Colby Covington to be behind that mic. So Colby Covington also fought that same night. He took on Dylan Dennis. Sorry, not fight. He wrestled him. I keep saying fighting, but this is RAF, guys. This is all fighting. So, anyways, he goes, look, I'm willing to do it, guys. I'm willing to take this guy on. And this is exactly what Colby said. So anyways, Arman, he handled his business, and that was absolutely incredible. Then right after the fight, he grabbed the mic, and Arman calls out Colby Covington. And not even subtle, okay? He basically said, listen, stop talking like you train me. I've never seen you in the gym. Let me beat you. So that's Arman Tsarukyan being personal, direct, like how he normally is. And in today's fight game, that's exactly the kind of stuff that you want to see from a fighter. But the thing is, these guys were wrestling. RAF is wrestling, not UFC, no MMA, it's wrestling. Now, Colby Covington wrestled that same night. He took on Dylan Dennis, and he ended up beating Dylan Dennis. And then Colby Covington responded as well, and he said, listen, if you want to do it, if you want to fight, All right, I'd love to. I'd love to dunk him and give him a wedgie and stuff him in a locker. This is Colby talking about Arman Tsarukyan, and then he drops the real detail. Look, the UFC is the one that's actually holding it up, and now we've actually got a situation because both fighters, both of these guys, they actually want to fight. They don't just want to wrestle; they want to fight. But the promotion actually hasn't signed off on both of these guys fighting. I don't even know if Dana White or the execs actually want this to happen, but I'll tell you what's kind of going on here because this isn't about two guys who are arguing. You've got Arman Tsarukyan, one of the top lightweights in the world, Covington, a big name, former title challenger. I mean, different weight classes, guys, honestly, different paths, but both are in the same position right now. They're both waiting. They're playing the waiting game. And they're waiting, essentially they're waiting for their employer, the UFC, to be able to kind of get things going. And this is where things get a little bit complicated because, I mean, with both of these guys who are super, super good at their craft, for them to be waiting on the sidelines is not normal. The question that everyone needs to be asking is the UFC blocking this fight? Because that doesn't make any sense, right? What makes sense is that both of these guys should be fighting. Both of these guys should be in the cage against one another. They should be doing what they're doing. And if not against one another, then they need to be doing it against somebody else, right? So if you want to be perfectly honest here, from a fan's perspective, this fight would be absolutely great. It's got real tension. It's got gym history. You got wrestling versus wrestling. You got personality versus kill. It totally sells itself. But from a UFC standpoint, it's actually pretty messy. And Tsarukyan, look, Tsarukyan is a lightweight contender, very, very close to getting a title shot. Covington is a welterweight coming off a loss. So if Tsarukyan fights up and loses, then pretty much you got an issue there. And if Covington loses, then you lose one of your biggest personalities right now. So there's a huge risk right now on both sides. This is why the UFC has to be very calculated in what they do. They want to avoid risky fights. They don't want to lock down a division, hijack a division, and do things that are going to be not good entertainment value. At the end of the day, it's all about value proposition. Nobody does it better than the UFC because the UFC makes exciting fights. They make strategic fights, but they make exciting fights, right? Now they're thinking about who fights for the belt next, who brings in pay-per-views, who can headline events, right? Both Arman Tsarukyan and Colby Covington have proven themselves to do it. And right now, Arman Tsarukyan is closer to a title shot than he is to a crossover fight. So even if this matchup against Covington sounds exciting, it may not be part of the bigger picture of what the UFC is actually envisioning right now. So this is important because when you're talking about Colby Covington, love him or hate him, Colby understands the game. He understands the situation he's in. He's calling it. He's like, this is what the fans want. This is the fight that the fans want. Because Colby knows, even being in the conversation keeps him relevant. And that's what he's trying to do. And relevance, at the end of the day, especially in this day and age, is the sport. That's the currency. That's what it's all about. Colby recently was really upset that he wasn't on the Freedom 250 card. And he's saying he really needs this because he needs to get paid. He needs to put food on the table. So anyhow, it'd be really interesting to see who really wants this fight more than ever. But anyways, this fight between Covington and Arman Tsarukyan definitely has value proposition, definitely has the marketing, has the hype, has the excitement factor because both of these fighters really want this. And I mean, I don't know if this is about timing, risk, but if you want to mix in business strategy into it, guys, and all right now, I mean, it seems like all the stars could be aligning for this fight to actually happen. But at the end of the day, it's really up to Dana and the execs in the UFC to decide what they want to do. So let me know what you guys think. Put your thoughts and comments below, guys. Should Arman Tsarukyan and Colby Covington fight? Or should the UFC allow them to fight? or do you think these guys have different paths? And maybe this is not the fight that the UFC wants. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please smash a like and subscribe. Hit the notifications so you guys never miss a beat. Thank you guys for sticking around. The pleasure was all mine, and I look forward to catching you guys in tomorrow's video.